Hello everybody, and welcome to my very messy workshop. Um, and welcome to this video series. This is the first of 6, and this is the Great Guitar Build Off 2021. Let's get started on the video. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the materials I'm gonna choose, that I have chosen to use in the build. Start with the neck. This is an ebony. It's actually an ebony fretboard blank for cello. It's not long enough to make a one-piece neck. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a lot of things to it. First off, I'm gonna split it in 3 pieces, and I'm gonna move around the pieces so the neck will be a little bit more stable, and so that I can try to counteract eventual movements. Reading the grain's direction and stuff like that. You can sort of place. Cut it up, and you can kind of place the pieces in a way that the movement that may be in a piece, because you never really know, that the movement can be counteracted. And also when you make a neck with several pieces and glue it together, it will always be more stable. And I'm gonna use some veneer to put in between. So it's basically gonna be a 5-piece neck. But since it's not long enough, I am gonna make it into a scarf neck, a scarf joint neck, which means that the headstock will be sort of a separate piece that is put on an angle, which is the angle that the headstock will be on the neck. So it's on this is going to be about 10 degrees. And what I'm going to do with the headstock part is that I'm going to do sort of a sandwich, several, a laminated headstock with ebony pieces, and again some light veneers. This is sycamore veneer in between. I think that's going to look cool. And when it comes to the fretboard is going to be ebony as well, and there's going to be a piece of veneer also between the fretboard and the neck, sort of like an accent piece. So when you watch it from the side, it's going to have something that separates the darker colors, which I think is going to be a cool contrast. This is Macassar ebony, yeah, I think it is. Can't 100% remember, but I think it's Macassar ebony. And the body is going to be 2 pieces of ash. I have an ash plank right here, and that's gonna be the body, 2-piece body, and I absolutely love ash. I think it has some very, very good looking grain patterns. The huge cathedraling, I absolutely love that. And last but not least, a flame maple top, if you can call it that. It's not very thick. It's actually a back for an acoustic guitar, and I've already loaded this up. But yeah, that's going to be the materials. So let's take a look at the actual design of it. Yeah, it's going to be a little more complex build than I'm used to, and but this might not be the best angle to look at it. But basically, I always start out my builds with a full-scale drawing, so I have an idea how it's gonna present itself in the end, and where the different parts are gonna be placed and how that looks, overall on the guitar. But basically, this is gonna be a ocean inspired build. And well, let's just, if you can see it, talk about the elephant in the room, which is there's a lot going on up here, and my thought with this is I'm gonna make a cavity, and I'm gonna basically try to make something that looks like an ocean view in a miniature scale. I'm gonna try to carve some aquatic animals, some sharks. I haven't completely made up my mind with the amount of animals I'm gonna put down there, and how big the actual thing is gonna be. But basically, it's gonna be filled with epoxy, and I'm gonna glue these aquatic animals close to the bottom of the cavity. I'm gonna stain the epoxy. It's gonna be stained in a sort of like a bluish see-through thing, so you can see what's going on underneath. The top is gonna be flame maple, as I've shown you, and that's gonna be stained as well. It's gonna be stained in sort of like an ocean kind of burst. That's what I'm going for, in my mind at least. And the pickups, I'm gonna make myself, which at least that's the plan at the moment. I'm not an experienced pickup builder, to say the least. I haven't completed any pickups yet. I'm working on the first couple of humbuckers, which is going to be the first test, and well, I have an aesthetic idea for the way they're going to look, which is going to be a part of the overall aesthetic, and sort of fit the color scheme, which I'm looking forward to doing. And it's going to be a hardtape bridge with string through. Yeah. And time for a little bit of a voiceover here. Yeah, it's time to clamp up the two-piece body and make a body blank. And I use these bar clamps. These are not the best in the world, best quality, but they do the trick. The smaller piece has a little bit of an inclusion, which is not going to be a problem because that is going to be part of the offcuts when I cut out the shape of the body. So put on the right amount of glue, and I use these clamps to make it level and make it not slide. That's why I use these small clamps on the sides. Yeah, glue is funny. It acts like a lubricant, and this is one of the ways to make them not slide around. And here I am working on the top, which is, funnily enough, not a top, it's a back, but it's going to be used as a top. And I use it on this shooting board. This is an aluminium beam that I used to force the whole piece down, because there is a little bit of a bow in it. And to make it nice and straight, I'm using this aluminium beam to clamp it all down nice and secure. Yeah, this is a big level that I have converted into a leveling beam. It's nice and straight. I put on some sandpaper, and yeah, it's basically the way that I make sure that I can book match a top like this properly. And onto my jig. When I glue together thin pieces of wood like these kinds of tops, yeah, basically again, use the right amount of woods to keep the boards nice and straight and down to the table, or the surface, the clamping surface. And yeah, if the wood doesn't want to do what I want to do, I have to force it a little bit. So there's a lot of clamps on it, but just enough. Now I'm tapping in some small wedges inside, so I can get the right amount of pressure that needs to be there to glue the two pieces together. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and just centerpiece to clamp it down nice and flat. Thanks for tuning in on this first video in the Great Guitar Build-Off 2021 competition. The next is going to be the neck, so hopefully at the end of part 2 we will have a almost finished neck. So please tune in. Thanks for watching. Bye.